Bioethics 2.0. Bioethics for the YouTube generation.
Welcome to Episode 1, about Bioethics 2.0, development of Web 2.0 interactive features for bioethics enrichment of undergrad nursing students during and beyond ethics class.
This series of podcasts will familiarize nursing students with topics in clinical ethics that they will likely encounter during their clinical years and during their professional practice. In addition, nurses in practice and other clinicians may also find the ethics education content useful or as a refresher for courses they have already taken. Hi, I'm David Perlman, Senior Lecturer, University of Pennsylvania School of Nursing, and Associate, University of Pennsylvania Center for Bioethics.
Hello, my name is Ryan Smith. I am an undergraduate student at Transylvania University. I am a philosophy and biology double major with a pre-med emphasis. I am the 2010 summer intern at the University of Pennsylvania Center for Bioethics.
A special thanks goes to Rebecca Cha. Rebecca was the 2009 summer intern from UCLA, and she was instrumental in the early phases of this Bioethics 2.0 podcast project.
Background about this project.
This section of the podcast provides background information about our podcast and wiki project. If you are not interested in the background details, please feel free to skip this chapter or to go on to an entirely different podcast. Prior to fall 2008, my course at the University of Pennsylvania, Nursing 330, the undergraduate ethics course, was taught using a combination of lecture, discussion, and 10 student-simulated role plays of cases on particular ethical issues in nursing practice. I thought that using pre-recorded stimulus videos of the various roles in each of the cases, followed by use of a wireless electronic audience response system, the so-called clickers, would both standardize the simulations and allow students to concentrate on developing enhanced skills in critical thinking and ethical decision-making, rather than worry about performance anxieties associated with live in-class role play of cases. In 2008 to 2009, funds were used to provide resources to develop and implement these stimulus videos and use the Turning Point audience response system. Despite these changes, my nursing class had two lingering problems that I thought additional technology could help resolve or ameliorate. This project is both an attempt to address these problems and also to add additional enhancements to ethics instruction at Penn Nursing beyond ethics class and well into students' clinical preparation, where they're likely to first encounter ethical issues and experience moral distress. The problems fall into two categories. First, the limited ability of the current Turning Point system to fully capture, display, and allow students to respond to the complex nature of options to resolve ethics cases. And two, the process students use to research their roles. The Turning Point system as currently implemented is limited to typical responses for objective test taking, for example, multiple choice answers, true, false, etc., due to the design of the clickers. Fortunately, Turning Technologies has recently developed technology to allow such input using a variety of devices that students already own and usually bring to class, for example, mobile phones, iPods, iPhones, and laptop computers. Use of this new technology would alleviate students' need to purchase clickers and maximize the ability for open-ended input to ethics cases using the Turning Point system. Therefore, part of this project is to license and test this additional Turning Point technology. The second problem concerns the fact that students must engage in research on a variety of topics in order to accurately portray roles in the videos. I intentionally supply only a bare-bones actor quote-unquote motivation and ask the students to take responsibility for researching their roles and creating realistic scripts based on that research. There is value in having students research these roles. They gain clinical and ethical understanding of what it's like to be a clinician, patient, or family member. However, there are greater advantages in providing a ready-made resource and permanent repository for the sources of such research. Students will still need to read, digest, and analyze such research information on their own, but having a fund of knowledge and wisdom from past students would jumpstart the process for students and allow them more time for role reflection and ethical analysis. Fortunately, the technology for such a repository including the ability to assign editing, read-only, and administrative privileges for multiple users and moderators, thus enabling informal learning and collaboration for teams, already exists. The Web 2.0 technology, known as a wiki, would provide these advantages. A wiki is a Web 2.0 technology to enable collaboration, communication, and informal learning between multiple people working on a project. It is similar to a weblog or a blog, except that multiple people who are subscribed to the wiki can add, edit, and save entries on the web pages that comprise the wiki, whereas a blog involves largely one-way communication from a blogger to a community. Moreover, if deployed on a secure website or server, it would be possible to use the proposed wikis as a resource for nursing students after they complete my class and enter their clinical rotations. The wikis developed for this project will have refresher ethics educational materials from my nursing class and be available to all undergraduate nursing students, and a commentary or discussion board added to the wiki. It would be possible to begin to address some of the concerns that students cite about their ethical experiences during their clinicals. Moreover, through iTunes University, we can make the refresher education materials to anyone wishing to view our project or to learn more about clinical ethics. In addition, I've produced several white papers regarding these technologies and how they can be integrated into classrooms, and I would encourage folks who are interested to email me at perlmand@nursing.upenn.edu for more information. We hope you enjoy and find value in these podcasts.
Funding for these podcasts comes from the University of Pennsylvania School of Nursing. In addition, we receive support from the University of Pennsylvania Center for Bioethics, the Weigel Information Commons at Van Pelt Library, and the Ormandy Music Center, also located at the Van Pelt Library.